fasting. Any tips for performing, by Eric. Eric is asking, any tips for performing Ramadan fasting as a non-Muslim?
Yeah, that's an interesting question
Because
because
Ramadan is coming up,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and in fact, some non-Muslims fast along with Muslims to show their solidarity with Muslims. I know even a priest not too far from here who does that every year.
For 30 days.
Yeah, for 30 days, dutifully. And so, of course, fasting is in other traditions as well. It's there in Christianity. Christians, in fact, recently have been fasting during the spirit of Lent, and it's known in Judaism as well, Day of Yom Kippur, a long fast, sometimes going into 25 hours of fasting in some interpretations. So what tips can I offer? Well, eat a morning meal because that's the time when you want to be fortified for the rest of the day, and that will give you the stamina to continue with the fast for the rest of the day. Get yourself busy with doing good things because if you're sitting around idle, then you start to become aware of your hunger and your thirst. You want to reach for the fridge and get something to eat or drink. So getting busy with doing good things will take your mind off the fasting. And do of it as much as you can. You want to try, if you're trying this for the first time, maybe set a goal for yourself and say, okay, I'll just skip lunch today. Or maybe you say, I'll just have a late lunch today, or I'll just have a salad today. And then tomorrow, you skip the salad altogether. You say, okay, my cutoff time is 3:00. I'll fast till 3 p.m. Then I must have my dinner, otherwise, I'm going to die. All right, so or I must have my lunch. So you have your late lunch, and then next day you make it even later still, 5:00, 7:00, and then by that time it's time to break the fast along with the Muslims. So you wean yourself into it. Wean, I don't know if I'm using the term.
Do you think it's appropriate for a non-Muslim to fast in Ramadan?
Well, yes. In classical Islamic jurisprudence, they describe, how would a fast be valid? So they say, the person has to be a Muslim. But they're talking about from the legalistic Muslim point of view.
Okay.
And they're thinking about the possibility if the person was not a Muslim and the person fasted, we wouldn't count that as a valid fast. And, they have some technicalities that way. But if a non-Muslim is trying to please God by fasting, like, who are we to say no? You cannot please God in that way. Like, if they copy us doing a good thing, that to me is a good thing, and may God accept it from them. But some may be doing it not even with a belief in God. Some might be doing it just out of the belief in humanity. They're thinking that our fellow, Muslim coworker or classmate or neighbor is fasting. Let me fast along with that person, so that we can feel the solidarity and human spirit of cohesion. So they're doing it for that cohesiveness. Maybe somebody's just curious and they want to see how does it feel to fast, to understand what Muslims are going through. I have a cousin who loved her daughter so much that when her daughter, started creeping around and she bumped her head, my cousin would go bump her head as well to find out, how hard is that bump? Like, how much pain her daughter was experiencing. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, right? But and if my cousin hears this, she would probably laugh now as well, because that was many, many years ago. She was very young at that time. Being a new mother, first child, and you're being very protective of the child. But what I mean to say by this little story is that some people may just want to understand and feel what Muslims are going through by the spirit of fasting. Because from a non-Muslim point of view, sometimes it looks a little bit odd. Like, for Muslims, like, oh, man, do you not get thirsty? Do you not how do you manage to fast? So sometimes people just want to experience that, and I think that's a good thing for non-Muslims to do.
Okay. So here's another Ramadan-related question. It says, tell me something to do this Ramadan to make it different from the others.
Well, this Ramadan is already very different from many people, especially, in high-risk areas where people are covering in their homes due to the fear of contracting the COVID, the coronavirus leading to the COVID-19 disease. So it's already very different. But let's say you're not in that situation and things seem to be going on as usual in the mosques and so on. How do you make this different? Well, take it up a notch. It doesn't have to be a great deal different. Like, it's nothing that says in Islamic teachings that your Ramadan has to be different than before. But you want to take it up a notch. Like, if you were reading a page of the Quran a day, make it a page plus one line. then next year you make it a page plus 2 lines,
Mhm.
and so on. Take little goals and try to improve upon what you have done before. If you were doing one little random act of kindness a day, make it two little random act of kindness a day. I couldn't say one and apart.
No.
Yeah, try to find your own ways of taking it up a notch. But as for those who are in high risk areas threatened by COVID-19, then try to make the best of staying apart. Like, stand together by standing apart, but stand up for Allah even in your homes. Pray your Taraweeh prayers at home, recite the Quran at home, learn about Islam, study a book that explains Islam conceptually so you can understand it, see its beauty, its wisdom, appreciate it more. I think these are different ways and simple ways in which you can make this Ramadan outstanding. And inshallah, I pray that Allah will make this an outstanding Ramadan for you, for me, for us all.
All right.